Welcome
So,
to our amazing podcast. Lisa, how many new things lately? A
so many
lot.
new things. Yeah, lots happening right now.
So, you're watching this podcast now on our YouTube channel, which we have sculpted and built. We have our intro, our outro. We've done so much movement on the podcast. We've been sharing it with people. People are watching it, people are liking it, people are giving us comments. Some of them are helpful.
This process is vulnerable, I'd like to say.
They're all helpful. They're all
Yeah,
God's creatures, and we want to know what everyone thinks.
we do. Well, constructive criticism is helpful, as we're growing and learning. But
It is.
it's also vulnerable for us doing this. We're trying to do our best while we're learning.
It
I'm
is.
learning more, but
And so today we're going to talk about something that we've all been learning about, whether we like it or not.
yes, hormone replacement therapy.
Right. What is that? And let's finally talk about it. So
Yeah.
Lisa's done a lot of homework, so she's going to start.
Stop it. Don't even put that on me.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, we're
I'll
trying to
start with
we're
some weird stories. I'll start
we're
with some
trying to
weird
figure it
stories.
out here. Well, I wanna start with the article because I think that's an important place, and you guys know I have
Go
small
ahead.
ears, and I have a problem with these headphones. These are new. It's still happening. Okay. Um, so an article came out. It's an important article. We're gonna have the link at the bottom, okay, here for you guys to look it up. But in November of 2025, so this just happened a few months ago. The FDA commissioner, Dr. Marty Makary, he finally put out something stating that basically for the last multiple decades, 40, 50 years, they have been telling us as women that, hormone replacement therapy is going to cause cancer. And they
Hmm.
based it on an inaccurate study. And it's inaccurate. The study is not correct because the data, the people that they used for that were over 60. And so the information was incorrect. And so I think the biggest thing here is they're finally acknowledging it and saying it out loud to us that, like, whoopsies. The problem with the whoopsies is we're talking how many women have suffered and not had the support that they've needed hormonally with these natural changes. And these changes, they can occur as early as mid 30s. So,
Yes.
and
So
that,
before we go on with this, I want to say we're not doctors, we're not attorneys, we're not
we're
paralegals,
not.
we are not doctors. We are two people who have experienced this or are experiencing it. Um, but I do want to say, like, as you start talking about it, I'll say this now and then in the middle and then later, like, basically trust your instincts.
Mhm.
If you feel like there's something going on with your body, there's probably something going on with your body.
And
Like,
trust yourself trust your instincts, but also, I know it's so difficult. You go to your doctor and you say something's wrong, and they minimize it. And that is what has happened. And if you do any kind of reading or looking up the situation with what doctors have been saying to us, it has their concept has been like, well, this is just a natural thing that occurs, and we can't do anything about it.
yep.
But I tell you what, and I love men, but I'm gonna throw it down right now. If men had to go through menopause, you'd be damn sure that they would be getting medicine way quicker.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have been sweating in the middle of the night. Have been like a roller coaster emotionally with our mood, right? Because that's what happens. I mean,
Yep.
the things that happen to our bodies. I'm going to talk about are things happening down there that aren't so much fun. Like there's a lot that comes with premenopause and menopause. And I know y'all have been suffering out there because I've been suffering a little bit. Angie has stories too, like just our own journey, right? With we're still trying to figure this out as we're having symptoms because everybody has symptoms at different times within that range, right? Some don't hit it till really, or don't even notice it till really late 40s, early 50s. Some notice it late 30s and they're kind of like, what's happening, right? Something is wrong. Something's off. My hormones are off, right? So,
Well, and I don't even know that people know that it's hormones. I think sometimes you just think that, like, it's kind of like that boiled egg, not egg, boiled frog story that they talk about how if you put a boiling water on the pot and then you pot of boiling water and you throw a frog in, the frog's going to
Mhm.
jump out. But if you put it in lukewarm water and just get the heat going up, that
Mhm.
frog will boil. They won't realize
Yep.
that they're struggling. And I know for me, I had my kids at 42. My cycle stopped when they were like 3 or 4. They're 12 now. So my cycle stopped 8 years ago.
Completely stopped.
Stopped 8 years ago.
So that okay, so that was something I learned that like when your cycle completely stops for 12 months straight, then you're
Yep.
actually in menopause. That's how you know you've gone from premenopause to menopause, is if your cycle stopped for a year.
So number one,
Yeah.
what is it that I think is our biggest barrier into getting help is that we don't talk about it. We don't talk about our cycle or if it's regular or if it stopped. Like we don't like wonder if what that means. And I think part of it is too is having children. Like so much happens to your bodies and it's so miraculous to like birth these children, whether however you birth your kids, whether you did a C-section or whether you did natural, whatever it is that you did. At the end of the day, it's a miraculous thing that happens to our body. So
Mm,
things just start changing. And then when we
yeah.
do go through these premenopause, menopause, what is it? The other one, perimenopause, all the names, we really don't
All the menopauses.
talk to people about it. We really don't. I don't know if we're
Mhm.
busy. I think for me, the night sweats and the change in temperature was probably like for me, and this is just me, and I might be different, but I felt a lot of like shame and embarrassment. And I didn't even want to talk about it. Number one, I grew up with my grandparents, and both my parents were like really medically like wordy about their selves. So I am like the least person who likes to talk about any ailment. I don't want to talk about
Mhm.
an ailment. My arm could be falling off. You're not going to hear about it. So everybody's different. But I
Yeah, for
think
sure.
when that started happening for me, I wasn't going to like say, "Hey, Lisa, this is what's going on with me." I just kind of was like, suck it up, deal with it.
Well, that's
It's
what we've
life.
been told as women in general. Like that's just normal hot flashes, and we joke about it, right? We joke about having hot flashes at some level, like with each other, like oh, like. But we just think we need to accept it. Like we had to accept that we have a menstrual cycle. You just accept it, right? Instead of having the thought of like, well, why is this happening? And I mean, obviously, you can, there's some like we understand, okay, our body's changing, right? Our estrogen levels are going lower, Um, there's a reason why we're getting to the place where we're not going to be bearing babies anymore. And so we're going to produce less eggs. And so there's a natural thing occurring. However, like this is yet another challenging thing for women that we not only have we had to bleed every month for a period, we birth babies, we breastfeed babies, like then we get to go have our little our little girls smashed every year. Like, I'm like, "God, thanks for thinking so highly of us, but really,
Yep.
like, this is a lot as a girl. Like, this is a lot that we have to go through." And so, if the more we understand, like, we're depleting of some hormones, therefore we need some hormone replacement to help us. Remember a conversation I had, I was at a training with a colleague, and she was just talking about it. She was normalizing her hot flashes, and I was said, "Absolutely not. Like, no, your body's saying something's wrong here. We need a little support in this area." And so she started just by that brief conversation of like, just talk to your doctor or go to a functional doctor, somebody who's going to maybe look at a more holistic approach than your MD doctor, or go to a DO, being able to get some support that you need. Because as we all know, women, if being a woman, you've gone to a doctor before and they've minimized stuff, and we have to really stand our ground. Um, I will input, I work at a medical university. We have more females entering medical school than any other time ever. And as they're entering medical school to become doctors, the research is becoming the focus of research is shifting. They're starting to see, why are we so behind in women's health? We're so behind, right? Why? Because we haven't been in the field like we are now. And now that we're in the field, we can start doing more of the research and seeing and start creating
So
solutions to the problems that are out there for us, the gaps for us as women.
one study that comes to mind though is there was a study about these schools that they put in some country in Africa, right? So they we bring these schools, right? We donate money and it's not that expensive to like build a school and
Uh-huh.
have schools in in remote areas. And what they found inadvertently with these studies was that the girls were able to track with the boys up until they started their cycle. And then they dropped out of school.
Interesting.
So that's like an example of like what happens,
The
you know,
impact.
the impact that it has. And it's pretty much very similar with like, women in the work field and women in the workplace. It's like, okay, you stop, you have children, then you enter the workforce in your 40s instead of your 20s. And
Mhm,
then you've got to catch up. Or
mhm,
you I had like 4 or 5 different cases where, again, coinciding with menopause and all the changes in our body, relationships start breaking, the children are
mhm,
gone, what the mom's not required to be there to like raise the kids, and then all of a sudden the marriage is having challenges because there is no, I don't feel like there's enough respect or reverence for our bodies as women and what they go through.
mhm.
So all of a sudden you're like, it's not that you're not of value anymore, but you're not like, your body's changing, like you said.
Yeah,
And so we do need to advocate for ourselves, and we do need to this study is this article is really important because I remember for the majority of my 30s and 40s hearing that hormone replacement therapy caused cancer.
yeah,
And that was just what they said.
yeah,
And they were wrong.
yeah. The data was wrong. They used women that were already past, they were already in menopause. And the benefits come from hormone replacement therapy from starting earlier,
Right.
right? So, yeah, I mean,
So what
even
what are the benefits? Have you tried it? And what are the benefits? I can tell you what my benefits have been.
well, I can just say for myself, so I have still been on birth control, and that has given me hormones, right? And I haven't wanted to get off of it because I feel like, oh, I'm in this sweet spot right now. And my doctor's like, yeah, it's helping you not have some of those symptoms. I'm like, yeah, thank you, God. Great. Don't take me off of it. And he's like, you got to get off of it soon. And what this is what I noticed. I noticed I started gaining weight right in my tummy section. And I was like, what is happening? Why am I getting it there? Like I could visually see it. And I'm really active. And I wasn't doing anything different, but I gained like 10 pounds just right there. And I
So
was
I
like, this is so weird.
So
Then
my
it was
doctor, what do you think the average, I'm just asking now because it's relevant to this point of the discussion. What do you think the average weight gain is for women during menopause?
I think it's like 10 to 20 pounds or something. I
I
think
know
it's
it's
pretty
40 to
high.
60.
Oh my gosh.
40 to 60.
That's insane.
It's
So,
insane.
girls, so whether you're active or not, but, like, you start feeling that, right? And then for me, I was feeling the fatigue. Like, I was so fatigued. I was like, "What is going on?" Like, so do I need more sleep? Is this just part of being older, right? We start wondering what's happening because I wasn't having the typical what I consider typical symptoms. It was like, "Oh, I didn't
What
realize that
did you think the typical symptoms were?
just hot flashes."
Just hot flashes.
Hot flashes and low sex drive is what I thought typical were.
Okay,
But
yeah.
then I did start having where I was having the night sweats, different than hot flashes, but having the night sweats, so I just wake up sweaty, and I was like, "What is going on?" So I had
Mm.
to advocate for myself, and my doctor wasn't gonna give it to me. He's like, "No, you're already on the pill, you already have enough." And I said, "No, I don't have enough
Male or
because"
female doctor?
male doctor. I said, "I don't have enough because I'm having these symptoms, and I have shut my mouth and not said anything for a year. And so I need something." So I personally went through a company online, I pay out of pocket and and they know I'm on birth control and I talk to a doctor that way. And I have a progesterone estrogen cream that I put on that's low. And I also take testosterone that's low, a low dose. And
Right.
that has been game changer for me. And everything I've listened to as well and read myself has told me like everybody's at a different level, how much they
Mhm.
need. What one woman might need is a lot lower than the other. And doctors will do blood work and say, "Oh, you're in the normal range. You're low, but in the normal range." It's like, no, I
Yep.
don't want to be down there. I know my body. So we have to be strong and advocate. And if your doctor's not going to listen to you, then don't give up, girls. Don't give up. Like, no, push and go find a functional doctor. There's lots of places online that you can talk to a doctor via that way. Even use your benefits card if you have to. That's what I do to help pay for
Yeah.
mine. But
Yeah.
I don't
Same
wanna
for
have a low
me.
sex drive.
For
I
me,
don't
it
what
was a
did it come from?
friend. For me, it was a girlfriend from my kid's school who was talking about all these symptoms that I had had. And then she shared the symptoms. Okay, itchy ear. Nobody talks about that. Dry
I
skin,
didn't hear
itchy
anything about
ear,
that.
itchy
Itchy
ear.
ear,
No one talks about it.
1 ear, 2 ears. Why is it itching?
I don't know. Dry skin,
Oh, maybe dry skin?
fatigue. I know, but it's in the ear canal. It's like you cannot even scratch it enough to like make that itch go away. Fatigue,
Hair
um,
thinning's another one.
mood,
Brain fog
brain fog is the
is the
worst. And
worst.
then mood changes. So,
Yes.
there's a bunch of symptoms. So she listed off all these symptoms. The itchy ear was like blew my mind.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
and then a low sex drive or just a different sex drive, a change in your sex drive, and
Vaginal dryness, that's another
vaginal
one.
dryness, vaginal psoriasis, itching, psoriasis in your hair, autoimmune, all a bunch of stuff that can happen. And we just all kind of sit there and just go, oh my gosh, that's just life. For me, another thing is like my inability to like people please went down.
Mm.
People pleasing just went out like I'm like, oh my gosh, I used to be such a great hostess. People think I'm a nice person. I don't feel as nice. Like almost, and I'm not saying I'm hearing voices, but almost like I'm not hearing voices. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not an accountant. I'm not an attorney, but I would just be like if somebody was saying something that was not, it was an exaggeration or it was,
Mhm.
I was like, no, that's a lie. Like, that's a lie. That's not true.
You're calling people out.
Calling people out. And I'm like, oh
Is
my
that a symptom we
gosh,
should add to the list?
add that one to the list.
Menopause and
I have
menopause.
4 aunts. I have 4 aunts. I'm like, that's why they did that. And I remember during their different stages because they hit it different. But anyway,
Mhm.
so I went to this doctor. She's like a OB. And I went to the doctor and she did checked my levels and then she gave me a couple of the different things like the patch and
Mhm. Are you
the
using the patch?
progesterone, and I was able to sleep. Yeah, I am using the patch. I
Okay.
was able to
How is
sleep. I'll tell you something about the
Oh,
patch. I was able to sleep. And that was the biggest benefit for me
'cause that's
because
another one, insomnia,
because
right?
I was tracking about 2 hours and 12 minutes average of sleep at a time, and then it would go away.
Wait,
2
what?
hours and 12 minutes at a time I could sleep.
Oh my and then
That's
you'd
how
wake
bad,
up?
and then I'd wake up wide
Oh
awake,
god, that's no REM.
ready
Oh, wow.
ready to like no REM. So you start making poor choices or
Yeah.
being moody, and then they say we have mood swings. Anyway, um, and then for me too, maybe nobody else, I was like, am I not going to be desirable if I'm in menopause? Like, what does that mean? Am I one of those people that's just going to be like the lady that talked about menopause and then like nobody liked her anymore? I don't know. So anyway, I did get the patch and I did get the progesterone. We're not doing testosterone, but it really has helped for sure. I
Mhm.
only know this because they ran out of the patches nationwide. There was like a shortage because they weren't producing
Gosh.
them. So normally I would take it on Thursday and Sunday. And so I didn't get it till not that Thursday, but the following Tuesday. And all the symptoms came back.
Oh
A lot of
gosh.
them, not all of them. So, you know, I've been really talking to my clients about it, saying like, have you had your levels checked? Do you have a
Yes.
doctor you can go to? And I think that's a really good tip
Mhm.
is just have the doctor that you can go to. Just start getting the names. You might not want to do it. You might not want to move forward. You might still want to
Mhm.
do research, but find out who your local doctor that can
Options.
help you with what your options are. And I think
Yeah.
that's a really good start.
Yeah. No, I valid because it's like you go into it slowly, right? It takes us time to get to the place. Because I think we're
Why did I
used to
feel
suffering as women. We're used to sucking it up and suffering, and we take the hit and we keep going.
Why
And
did I feel like there was something wrong with me if I needed hormone replacement therapy? Why did I feel that? Why? I mean, I
yeah,
know we could go into my own psychological
but I
makeup, but
mean,
I mean, sincerely, why do we feel like there's something not enough about us
Uh-huh.
if we need
Or that
help.
that we have to go through that even. Yeah. No. I think because like, will we go through the pain of nursing? Like, oh, you know, my nipples are very sore when you're nursing, right? When you first start, and you just kind of push through that pain of it, or you go through the pain of like birthing a baby and you just tolerate it and you just go through it and you know you're going to get to the end. So I think that concept of just like, well, this is just menopause and you don't have any hormones and you just suffer
Oh,
through it.
how
But
about changes in vision? How about that one?
mm, it's amazing how much your hormones really you have
Run the show.
joint pain as
Joint
well.
inflammation.
Inflammation. Yep. So
Yeah.
there's so much going on, girls. So it's like we really advocate for you to take care of yourselves. Like be willing to fight for yourselves. Be willing to say, like, this is I don't want to feel like this. This doesn't feel good. When you get a hot flash, it's like it feels like it starts from the core of your body and it just goes and just and then you're just dripping sweat. Like in the middle of whatever you're doing, just comes and gets you. It's like
So I got a cold last week, maybe a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And I'm only going to talk about this because it's just ladies and we're just talking about this. And it's just like the whole YouTube universe can hear this. But so I got a cold, maybe flu. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It was gone. It came, it went, it was heavy. Like I was in bed for 3 days. Well, then the coughing wouldn't go away. So now I'm kind of on the tail end of the coughing. That's why I've been turning away to cough. Okay. Well, what about when you like can't cough or sneeze
oh,
without peeing on yourself?
mhm, mhm. The whole
So
like
I'm with clients and
cold.
on top of processing their stuff, which I'm capable of, I'm like, oh my gosh, I might just about to sneeze or cough. And I'm not sick. I'm not sick. So I have to already overcome that post COVID of like, I'm not sick.
Right.
Right. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I literally just peed
It
a
just
little bit.
tinkled.
So annoying.
Not okay. No, I remember going on the
Why, God?
trampoline and
Why?
jumping and having to like hold. This is the hard stuff.
It's
It's girl
hard
stuff.
stuff. This
Hard to
is
be a
only the
girl.
be this is only the beginning of our conversation about this because it's
Yes.
already like 20 going on 23 minutes. We try to keep our episodes to like a half hour. We're going to bring you more information about it, but we just want to start the conversation and normalize it. So
Yeah.
please give us comments. Please give us questions. We have more research. Lisa did a lot of research and I'm not cutting us off. I'm just saying like, we really just want to continue this dialogue. I mean, it's the title of our podcast because it is funny and people remember, but because it's true.
Mhm. And this is our season of life, right? We don't just get the hot flashes, we also get the cold margaritas, like, to try
Oh
to
my
balance
gosh.
us.
Okay, Tulum. So very shortly, we're gonna coordinate shooting our podcast in Tulum. I've already put it out there in the universe
Okay,
because
yes,
they have
I'll be
the
part of that.
best mojitos and margaritas that you can find in that little tiny city.
We'll start adding that information. It's important that you know this, girls.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap on this one?
Um, no, other than just make sure that you be honest with yourself about what's going on with you when you're having these symptoms, and don't be afraid to advocate for yourselves. Don't be afraid to look up things and to take it to your doctor and to say, I need support in this. I want these things. And look up the patch. That's something new. Look up the creams, look up the different options that you have. So maybe you feel like you have more agency when you go into the doctor's office.
Yes, and ask for that blood work. I think the blood work's really important because you're going to need a baseline. So get the blood work
Yeah.
on the hormones so that let's just say you put it to the side and don't do anything with it for 6 months. When you come back and get checked at that 6 month level, you
Hmm.
already have some levels and markers that you can look at. So
Yeah.
we are here for you. Please message us, like us, give us your comments, give us your questions. We will continue to like do some more research and bring some more humor to the situation, but trust yourself. You're right. There is stuff going on. Talk to your girlfriends.
Hmm.
And yeah,
You're not
that's
alone.
it.
You're
You're
not
not
alone in
alone.
it. Yeah. You're not alone in it. So know that we're all
Yep.
sweating together.